I'm Danny Lovio, and this is my wife Stephanie. We met in high school, so we've known each other going on 20 years, and we were high school sweethearts, and we dated.
We've been married for 13,
yeah.
and we have 3 kids.
Our oldest daughter is 10, and then we have a son named Tyson, and he's going to be 8.
So every girl has 2 X chromosomes, where boys have X and Y. So that means Addison's X, so if she's got 2 X chromosomes, one of her X's is broken, so they don't function properly together. Usually what it affects, it's like the connection from her brain to her mouth and to some of her hand functions is what's broken. And so she's nonverbal, she has very limited use of her hands. They have something called like repetitive hand motions. A lot of the girls do hand wringing like this, where Addison actually mouths her hands, so her hands constantly in her mouth. A lot of girls are in wheelchairs and have trouble walking. Luckily, Addison is mobile, so she has mobility. She can go up and down the stairs with help, and she can walk. It's a random genetic mutation, is something I should say. Like it's not inherited, and it's not an environmental thing. It's just randomly those genes just didn't develop the way they were supposed to, and that's why.
She won't be able to feed herself, go to the bathroom, change her clothes, so she
can't dress herself,
care.
bathe herself.
Yeah. I'd say like it's pretty normal, you know. Just like we've had ups and downs, but we've always had a pretty strong marriage. Like I said, we've known each other for a long time, but I wouldn't say that it was
bad.
Yeah,
like,
bad. It was kind of an interesting time because I had been laid off from my job on Friday.
Yeah.
And then we found out that her official diagnosis like the following Wednesday. So we were already under a little bit of stress from the work situation, but when we were fortunate to be able to look at the situation as we were going through it and realize that it was a true blessing that I was laid off. A, I didn't want to be where I was at, and then B, we were able to spend a lot of quality time together and just kind of console each other and be together and go through this difficult time.
So I feel like it's made us better partners.
You have to work better together now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is a whole for our family as well. Not
Yeah.
us together, but
So it's
as
made
a
you
whole
like
family.
bond more with your other children as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we kind of all revolve around Addie, and so
Okay.
I think our kids are awesome with taking into consideration like they're so good with her, and so we all kind of just revolve, and we're like a team.
Yeah, a lot of teamwork. People say when you get these kind of diagnoses, it's almost like losing a child, because in a way we pictured Addison, like our other 2 children, going to college, getting married and dating and driving cars and doing all of these things. And so for a long time I felt like not for a long time, but initially I mourned that girl. I mourned the Addison that could have been, and now we've had to come to terms with the Addison that we have, and that was hard at first, was realizing that she wouldn't get to have those experiences, that she's not going to fall in love, and she's not going to have children, and she's not going to do those things that have made our lives so full.
Because there's still not a lot of research done on this,
Yeah.
and so every day, and a lot of our information comes from Facebook and forums with other Rett moms, and we hear just out of the blue on the weekly basis, this Rett girl passed away, and and we don't know why. They're just, and
it could have been a breathing issue, it could be their heart failed, so there is still the chance that Addison could pass away at some point unexpectedly at a young age.
And you just don't know.
You just don't know.
We have zero
So
idea what the future holds.
So we have to also kind of come to terms with that. To say to ourselves, there is a chance that Addison will not live very long, or not live, until she's older. And
even
how would we deal with that? And so there's that factor. And then there's the long term. There's times where I think I get overwhelmed. I've had to really take it day by day. Like today we're going to therapy, and today we have school and stuff. So when I start thinking about what's it going to be like when she's a teenager, and she's going through puberty and all of those changes, what happens when she's in her 20s and I'm getting older, now I'm gonna have to help her in and out of the car, and how am I physically gonna care for her? I start to get like overwhelmed, like how can we do that? How can I, for the rest of our lives, care for this person? So we've had to kind of but that's okay because she's only 4.
I think it's those times that we're looking into, okay, I'm going to stop, I'm going to look at her situation, I'm going to say, okay, what is going on with her? Why is she acting or reacting the way she is? And then, because as soon as I do that, every single time she will flip around and start thinking about me and what my situation is, and then it's right there, you have this complete unity.
Yeah.
But as soon as I start
thinking about yourself, like,
yeah.
well, he's not, like, I'm like, he's not doing this for me, he's not doing this, and then he's thinking the same thing, we're not coming together. So I think, oh, what should I be doing for him? And he's, what should she be doing, doing for her? And I've also thought,
those are our strongest times.
And saying sorry.
Yeah.
There were times, again, early in our marriage where we'd get in a fight or we'd get in an argument, and then we'd both stew on it, and we'd waste so much time. And now that we've got 3 kids and one with special needs, we don't get a lot of one-on-one time.
She will never be able to do the things that she, probably wants to, or, because with Rett syndrome, they're fully mentally capable. They just can't show it. They can't communicate it. They can't do it. And it's like they're trapped in their body. So that's a big deal. Things, if I'm having a bad day at work, or someone says something stupid, or, these people who are being offended for no reason, like, that's something that you can get over. This is something she can't control, and that's a big deal. And so it makes us look at these situations and like, you know what, whatever it was between us that we're arguing about, is it a big deal? No.
And we've got great family support too.
Yeah.
We have families that champion our marriage, you know what I mean, that support our marriage. They don't, so that's always been helpful just from the beginning, having, like your family and my family are supportive of marriage and wanting us to be happy. So it's not, it's never us or them or whatever. We're all working together for that. So I appreciate that too.
Got some pretty awesome sisters. In terms of, I know that it's about Rett syndrome and marriage, but it's also just life. Life isn't easy. Like, everyone has different things that they go through, and this is just the thing that we're going through. And,
and honestly, it could always be worse.
It could always be worse.
I spend a lot of hours. So Addison takes, she goes to preschool during the day, like half-day preschool, but then she also goes to outside therapy. And so on Wednesdays, she's there for an hour doing occupational therapy and speech therapy. And then Fridays, she's there for 2 hours doing physical therapy and occupational therapy. And she's on the horse on Fridays. But when I'm in this therapy center, lots of different kids come in, and I see kids, especially when I'm having a day where I'm like, oh man, I wish Addie could just tell me what she wants, or I wish I could figure this out. But then I go in there and there's these kids in wheelchairs on feeding tubes, where at least Addison, like, when she sees us, her face lights up, she responds to people's voices, like, she's excited about life. And some of these kids, there's nothing there, like, they're just, they're really trapped in their bodies. And I know it sounds sad, but then I think it could be worse.
Yeah.
As hard as Rett syndrome is, or as hard as whatever I'm going through that day, there are people who have worse things happening to them, and it just makes me grateful for my life, grateful for our family, and grateful that, that we have what we have, and so far that we've been able to handle it okay.